what I think is interesting to say that the railroad ties, they were taken or it is part of the train station of the train tracks there that are the train tracks upstairs, which we go and see. But what is so important, it's not the way it is laid out, but it is who decided about this memorial. And that is, from my point of view, quite an interesting issue, because we have been talking about memorials. We have been seeing them all over Berlin. And you saw some bigger, you saw some smaller. You remember the other day we went to see the Holocaust Memorial, the central one with all these tombstones, blocks, stelae. Then we saw some smaller ones. But this one here, I think it's interesting, is, or was, decided to be put here by a group of Lutheran women. You understand? People that were in a community and in a church community living here in this neighborhood. These Lutheran, they belong to the Lutheran church, and they had the idea we should do something to remember the deportations which started from here. So it was not ordered by the state. No president, no chancellor, or no one said you have to do something like to put here a memorial. They said we're going to make something to remember the deportations that started from here on the 18th of October 1941. I think hopefully I'm sure that Mr. Obama said why conference only took place in 1942. Put together. But the trains already started and left from here in October 18th, 1941. Isn't that strange? They had the meeting in 42. Strange. Yeah, but the Holocaust had already started. The decision, as we learned, already was taken in summer 1941. And the train tracks, or the trains already left, and not only in Berlin, from other towns as well, exactly the same day. Perfect. We are perfect. Huh? But anyway, this is what you see again. It's a group of under the leadership of this woman that decided to put a smaller memorial here. Then you have these trees. They're not by coincidence here. They were planted in 2011. Where do they come from? You will see the place, Auschwitz. It's a Polish artist who had the idea to plant everywhere here in Berlin birches from Auschwitz. Okay. Then we are going to see now another memorial, which is the so-called Ram. When the Jews arrived here, as we heard, they were sometimes taking trams or streetcars, transported on streetcars, trucks, or walking. So they came here, they arrived here, and this is still what we can understand or what we can imagine. You see the people, they arrived, they got off, or they walked up the ramp with their suitcases that we saw this morning, which I found very interesting, that the suitcase that they showed, that they packed. And they were walking all up here this ramp to board the trains. And here, this memorial, what you see, this wall, the gray wall, is already an official memorial. An official memorial. The city of Berlin decides about a memorial. And that was in 1991. When that one was made here, you can also see the sign. There's a gray sign saying that the 55,000 Jews from Berlin were deported. Not only from here, but mainly from this train station here in Grunewald. You see how beautiful this area is. And I asked the question again when I was asking you in the Bavarian Quarter, what did the people know about? Here they didn't smell yet the human bodies being burned. Here they saw the people walking by. And even if it was done at night, You couldn't close your eyes. You couldn't say, I didn't see anything. There were people living in these houses. These houses are older than, well, pre-war buildings. And also there was, or is, also a kind of responsibility of the people. What would you have done? Most of the Germans said, okay, they are taken to the east. They are taken to the east somewhere where they wanted them to be. Okay. Why didn't they stand up and said, hey, let my neighbor here? I think these little kids that you saw this morning, they would have said something. Today, as we saw them, they were so, we are happy to show you this, to tell you this story and what we found out. And if they had been at that time, they would have said something. The small they were, but or the young they were, but they would have done maybe something. Why didn't they do anything? All these people that were living here, and it is a very nice and very expensive neighborhood of Berlin. That's what it has always been. That's what I want you to think about it. And while the trains arrive then, what you will see then in Auschwitz or in Birkenau, and disembark then, that's then what we can't understand. What Mr. Barber told you about how much time did it take them to gas them. Here we can see still the people there with their expectations, with their ideas, where we will be taken to, and well, we need October, it's getting colder, so we need maybe a coat, or scarves, or a hat, because winter, as in your country, it can be quite, not in California, but on the East Coast, so maybe they took a coat just in case, because they didn't know how far long they would be taken away or be away. Okay, let's walk there where Mr. Barmer is and walk up that memorial, which you will see, which are shapes of people. So this is what I think, when I look at this, we don't know if this is a woman or a man or a child, or well, we can say, well, maybe, but there's no identity. Standing for those many thousands of people that were taken from here out and up to the trains. So that is number one, number two, and now we're getting to the number three, to the third memorial, which is actually the train track itself. Do we want to take the responsibility? The Germans, I'm talking for the Germans now. Do we really want to remember the bad things in our history, like we saw the Holocaust Memorial? Why only in 1997, 1998, when this last memorial was made? Why not earlier? Why not in the 1950s? The murderers were still around. Now they're dead. And there's a new generation. And that is, if you heard carefully to that lady, the principal at the school, she said that's exactly what I experienced. At the end of the 1980s, that started with a young generation which put the finger in the wound and said, what did you do? Why didn't you do anything against it? You were there. You were bystanders. What did you do? Why didn't your grandparents, or I myself, I remember that I went to older people and interviewed them. I said, well, what did you do? How was life? Did you see the Jews? Did you live with them? Smaller and bigger towns, huh? How was life at that time? Yeah, so this was the generation which then started was closer to that. Wanted to know about the past. Also from the side of the perspective of the perpetrators. We were
I want to walk up to the memorial here, which is at Grunewald, and it's called Track 17. And I'm going to log off for a second and wait for the kids to come back up. And this is where they begin to see the numbers of people that were deported from Berlin on specific days. So we'll be back in a minute.